Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today we are discussing a Vacheron Constantin boutique exclusive launched as you see it here in 2022. This is the Overseas Perpetual Calendar Ultra Thin blue skeleton dial in rose gold. It is very impressive in the hand and to the eye. 41.5 millimeters in diameter. It's only 8.3 millimeters thick as I measure it, and from lug tip to lug tip, exactly 49 millimeters. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference. And I think first I need to clarify something about how this watch fits. The third generation Overseas, of which this is a member, tends to have a bracelet that fights and flares out. You can't pull it straight down out of the lugs unless it's the Perpetual calendar. In this case, I can pull the bracelet 90 degrees to the case band, which means it fits a lot better than other members of the third generation Overseas family. So, 16 centimeter circumference wrist, no trouble fitting the watch. It is broad, but again, the flexibility of the bracelet and the downward angle of the ends of the case, it does mitigate against fit issues. So I think you could wear this watch on a wrist as small as 15 centimeters circumference. It is super flat, easily sliding underneath a dress cuff, and there's an impressive weight to the thing. Even though it's very thin, it's very substantial. Of course, it has a feature common to the third generation Overseas, which is the quick release system, and it comes with two straps, one in rubber, blue, one in leather, blue, and then a secondary deployant clasp to use with the straps. So it's very, very easy to swap here. It's just a pull tab system, thumbnail, click, you're done. Take a quick look, fully integrated. The design of the Overseas was based on the 1977 Jorg Heisig Vacheron reference 222 sports watch. Now in 1996, Dino Modolo and Vincent Kaufman, who designed the first Overseas, drew heavily on the 222, and you can still see that 70s era watches integration of tonneau case, lugs, and bracelet in the modern Overseas. And you'll note it's nicely finished. The finishing on the bracelet is intricate, detailed, and undoubtedly time-consuming. This is a beautiful expanding bevel across the lug hoods that continues down the shoulders of the links, polished profiles, satinated top. We have that Maltese cross motif that is the logo of the brand, and it runs down the center of the links. You'll also note that for the sake of sizing ease, every single link on both sides is removable. So you have a lot of flexibility in sizing here. Plus you get two micro adjustments, 1.5 millimeters on each side of the clasp. It's sleeved, slide in, slide out. A very simple system to operate if you want to make some micro adjustments. Double folding clasp, twin trigger release for security on the wrist, and then you can see when it's closed, we've got one of those Maltese cross logos again. You'll see it all over the watch. The case is well differentiated with satin and polish, a couple of well-chosen bevels, and then a bezel that sits on a circular plinth beneath it. You can see that's satinated on its top, polished on its edge. We have this Maltese cross motif in the bezel, and the outboard portions of it are polished, and the recesses are satinated. You can see that inboard. The dial is skeletonized, and underneath you can see the Perpetual calendar module. Now we also have applied rose gold indices, and you can see they sit on a second sapphire that rests just below the primary sapphire covering the dial. So there's one upper sapphire and then a bottom sapphire on which the scales for the calendars are sitting and on which the individual indices have been placed. We'll do a loom shot. For a skeleton watch, it's actually fairly easy to read day or night. You can see it's well loomed, easily differentiated. The Perpetual calendar has the advantage of not needing any corrections until the year 2100. If you keep it set, you will not have any trouble with the watch. Now, of course, that's a bit optimistic. It'll have to go in for service sometime before the year 2100. But the idea is that this calendar can deal with irregular length months, leap years, no problem. You can also see how delicately the pieces have been finished. There are a lot of steel springs, rockers, and levers on the Perpetual calendar module, and you can see how these springs have been satinated on their top and then mirror beveled on their edges. And these are very fine, delicate mechanical components. We have a lunette style or crescent profile moon phase here as well, and that has an adjustment interval of once every 122 years. Taking a look at the case back, you can see a spectacular nickel anthracite finish on a Vacheron 1120 base movement. We'll take this bracelet off all together and we'll get a better look here. The movement has been skeletonized on both sides, so you see it's been opened up so you can easily view, for example, the inside of the open barrel, or the keyless works, or the underside of the motion works that's used to set the watch. All the wheels have been satinated, all screw heads black polished with chamfered slots in circumference. You can see that the rotor itself has also been blackened, though the mass remains rose gold. 22 karat too, not 21 karat, not 18 karat, 22, the most massive and the most efficient winding. Now this is based on the ancient JLC 920 Bausch, which was the world's thinnest automatic winding movement when it debuted in 1967. It was commissioned by AP, Patek, and Vacheron and only ever used by them. JLC never sold it to its other customers, nor did it ever use it on a JLC watch. Now, taking a quick look, you can see it's got this beryllium ring that runs all the way around. The mass is only on one side, but the rotor is circumferential. And the idea there is that you've got ruby roller jewels that sit at each corner of the movement and physically support that ring so that everything can be pressed very close to the bridges and plates with no danger of the rotor or the ring contacting the bridges and plates under conditions of shock. It's a unidirectional winder. It's got a 40-hour power reserve, a quirky vintage beat rate of 19,800 vibrations per hour, and it uses a free-sprung Gyromax style balance for durability with 36 pivot jewels. Now you can see that the finishing is surpassing. In every jewel and screw sink we have beveling. On the edge of every bridge we have beveling. You can see that these skeletonized components are also internally chamfered, and all wheels have been satinated. Take a quick look at the click that prevents the ratchet wheel, skeletonized ratchet wheel, from running backwards. The click is satinated steel on its top and mirror beveled on its edge. It's all very impressive, and this is water resistant down to 50 meters, though with a push down crown I recommend you consider this a splash or rain only and not swimmable. Geneva hallmark on the movement, Geneva hallmark on the case. Since mid-2012 it has been a full watch standard, which means that inside, out, and dial it has met the standards of the elevated Poisson de Genève, whose history dates back to the 1880s. The mark of quality for movements made in the city or canton of Geneva that meet the appropriate codes, which are well defined. You see, it says anti-magnetic. That means that there's a soft iron ring, probably exactly the same as we find in the other overseas, meaning 25,000 ampere per meter anti-magnetism. And remember, an anti-magnetic watch, as defined by ISO, is only 4,800 ampere per meter, so this can withstand 25,000, even though it's clearly a high horology complication. So reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details of this Vacheron Constantin overseas perpetual calendar ultra thin.